Welcome to the fucking metaverse.
I've gifted my wife art before, like physical art. And she's always enjoyed it. And, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I forget, CryptoPunks started getting a little energy and I started seeing it popping up on my Twitters. And I was like any selfish person, I was like, let me go see if there's a CryptoPunk that looks like me. And I didn't actually find one. And so I thought, okay, cool. Like, there's actually a couple that look like my wife, and one in particular with the headbands, the hair. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I feel like it's an impeccable sort of Serena punk. So I bought one, and then I bought like 6 more, and I was planning on presenting them to Serena. And this is the one that I ultimately ended up wearing at the Met Gala. I guess it was later that year. And I had an amazing moment. Rest in peace, Virgil. But Virgil was sitting at our table, and he took a photo, and he had said that this was the most punk thing he had ever seen at the Met Gala, which basically made my life. And I will plan on bragging about that until the day I die. But when I presented it to Serena was actually so we had Chris Lines, who's also an investor in Yuga. Chris Lines was over at our house. And he was talking up NFTs and all this stuff, and we're having this great conversation. And Serena was kind of like, oh yeah, interesting. Like, I feel like I heard Alexis talking about this stuff. And Chris was like, no, really, like, this is exciting. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. There's things called CryptoPunks. You got to get one. At this point, like, as a husband, I'm like, I am not letting Chris Lines be the one that like gets Serena into this space, especially because a few months ago, I've already bought her a punk that maybe for, I don't know, you need the right time to make a gift like this. Is around, I don't know, an anniversary gift, some kind of thing. But I was like, fuck it. I'm doing this right now. So I take out my phone, open up Rainbow, and I'm like, excuse me. As a matter of fact, babe, I got you a punk that looks just like you. And
that's amazing.
Chris was impressed because I think, I couldn't have timed it. It was impeccable timing. It was a great flex. I didn't expect to be, giving my wife this gift in front of our buddy, but it worked out. And Serena was like, wow, okay, thank you. How does this work? And so, I did my best explanation, and she was like, all right, cool. This makes sense. And I will give her credit. She's always been, she's been into it with a lot of stuff, and art in particular. And once you can grok this notion of digital goods mattering, and again, if my wife did not grow up playing MMORPGs, but as someone who consumes technology and understands technology and then understands the art world, it's not a huge leap to just understand this is a different medium. And yes, you can make 1 million copies of this JPEG, but there's a reason why this is a one of one. And there is a big book that we've all agreed is the ledger that says, no, this is the original one. And so I'd like to say, I helped get her down the rabbit hole, and it wasn't quite that long thereafter that I was like, gosh, I got to get her an ape too. And so this one was less romantic because I just sat with her with the laptop and was like, let's pick out an ape together. And so she's a big fan of the color pink. We found a nice clean pink one, and the rest is history. And I was a little pissed because there was some propaganda out there saying that someone else had bought her that ape. And I was pissed about this. Again, as a husband, I'm like, no, I gifted that. That was my choice. You may not agree with that as a gift, but do not give someone else credit for that. That was me too.